Decked out in their number 24 Falcons jerseys, these fans from Clover came to see one person.
All of our kids look up to him, but just watching how much he gives back to the community, we've just become Chris Hope fans.
Chris Hope, as far as I'm concerned, is probably one of the best inside and out.
What a compliment for the ex-Rock Hill Bearcat. After 11 years in the league and his third team, Chris Hope is still a fan favorite and very much appreciative.
To be able to play again in front of my home crowd, my true fans, my family, people that love me.
He's been traveling so long since he's been in Pittsburgh and Tennessee, and now to be able to just take a 3-hour drive to get to Atlanta is great.
It's also great for Chris's teammate and another Tri-County native, Vance Walker. Vance played at Fort Mill, and he was glad to see his folks too.
It's always a good feeling to come back home and just being in that position. 7
years separate Chris and Vance, with Chris being the oldest, so they didn't get a chance to play against each other in high school, but they often reminisce about the glory days of Tri-County football.
Definitely. We talked about that the other day, actually. He's actually my locker mate at the facility in Atlanta, so we talk a good bit about it.
He's a little behind me, so he doesn't really understand the legacy of Rock Hill football altogether.
Have you ever wondered who these people are at golf events?
Hole Marshal.
Hole Marshals? Who are they, and what do they do?
Really keep the crowd under control and people quiet and not moving during the shots.
Roy Weinberger is a rookie hole marshal. The New Jersey native just moved to Fort Mill by way of Savannah, Georgia, a few days ago, and he's pretty much in awe about being at the Wells Fargo Championship.
It's a dream, really, to be out here on a beautiful afternoon.
There are more than 1,200 hole marshals and captains volunteering this week at Quail Hollow. And for Weinberger, it required a lot of patience to get there.
It took me 3 years to actually be notified that I was going to be a hole marshal.
John Alford, he's a veteran when it comes to manning the course, 7 years as a hole captain. So who better to ask how Mr. Weinberger is working out?
Roy's doing just fine. For his first day, he's doing well.
Hasn't cracked the whip on anybody yet.
Well, I appreciate his good words, but it's still early.
But Roy does well. He faces the crowd, has his hands up, makes sure everybody's having a good time.
The whole captain, John, has been great in terms of support.
So he hasn't really had to crack the whip on anybody yet?
Not yet, but that's not really until tournament days go, when the players are out here and every shot's for money. That's when we really get serious.
So while you're hanging out at the Wells Fargo Championship, respect the hole marshals and captains. They just might lay down the law. Rob Jones, CN2 Sports. As the Bobcats tipped off their season finale, the lingering question for fans, will they remain the Cats or return as the Hornets?
I think it would bring the magic back.
From 1988 to 2002, the Hornets called Charlotte home before moving to New Orleans. And the majority of the fans we spoke to would like for owner Michael Jordan to bring back the buzz.
I'd love it. I was a big Hornets fan, and when they left me kind of sour.
Hornets has a history here in Charlotte, and I would really like to see that. And besides, I have some old Hornets gear at home that I'd like to wear again.
Bobcats President of Operations Rod Higgins declined to comment on the possible name change, but the team did release this statement. We are currently in contact with the NBA and conducting our own due diligence relative to this matter. But recently, Jordan offered a sting of hope, if you will.
Still working on it. Sounds good. Still working on it.
I think they should go back to, regular Hornets. That's what brung them up. That's what they started as.
While most of the fans favor "we believe," there is something one would like to see stay.
I will tell you this. The cheerleaders, they're a lot cuter. They are a lot cuter.
And the players seem to have an opinion too.
Back when they had Alonzo Mourning here controlling the paint.
Charlotte out of timeout. Here's Mourning, the shot.
I mean, a lot of noise in the playoffs, so hopefully we can get back to that, and next year it'll be great.
So, if it was Charlotte's final game as the Bobcats here in Charlotte, they surely gave the fans a nice parting gift with a 105-98 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. And only time will tell if the Hornets will buzz again. Rob Jones from the Cable Box in Charlotte. Just about everybody is on the social media craze, either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And Westminster Catawba Christian basketball team has taken it to a new level.
The idea one day just popped in my head, what would it be like to have your Twitter name on the back of your warm-up?
It's certainly different and probably the first of its kind, and the players have definitely bought into it.
And we thought it was a pretty cool idea, so we decided that's what we wanted to do.
Everybody just immediately kind of like, they was like, yeah. We really thought it'd be fun to get our own little Twitter name on the back of the jersey and be creative with it.
Even when the Indians hit the road, opposing fans offer a tweet or two.
So after the game, we'll come back to our phones, we'll have a few follower requests, or we'll have a few trash talks.
That was an ugly jumper or something.
Or what were you doing? Y'all suck or something like that.
But it's fun. We like it.
As a coach, Hamrick used the idea to bond his team. As a parent, it was a monitoring tool.
It's funny you'd say that because almost all of their tweets come to my phone.
The day before a game, he wants us in bed at 11 o'clock. If you tweet past 11 o'clock, then he's going to get it.
It definitely gets us in the bed on game days and stuff like that, and we watch what we say on Twitter because of him.
Not only does being a responsible tweeter keep teens and their parents' good graces, it can also enhance their college careers.
I was told by a coach that it can really be used for recruiting things, and I've had 2 or 3 different coaches that have used my Twitter name and put my name out there.
Intense, focused, and ready to race, Banks Johnson is not your average 12-year-old.
I normally just race. I like to, play football with my friends, but I'm not on a team or nothing. But I like racing the most.
And he's good at it, too. Banks drives in the Bandolero Bandits division, and just listening to him talk about his recent race at the Summer Shootout in Charlotte, it's easy to tell this kid really knows his stuff.
The car was really good. This was the best it's been all season, and it was really good. We were battling and stuff. It was a crazy race.
It sure was. Banks finished 5th, but used his superior driving skills to avoid a number of wrecks, something his father praises him for.
It has clearly been the secret of his success. He seems to somehow figure out ways to avoid the big accidents, as you saw 2 or 3 cars left on wreckers.
Banks has the full support of his family. They attend every race. But when he first decided as a 9-year-old he wanted to get behind the wheel, trepidation was high.
I did think, oh my goodness, but we love racing, so it's fun to watch. I mean, I sit out there every week and just hope for the best.
Hey, most 12-year-olds are enjoying their summer in some type of camp or playing sports. Not Banks. His passion is being behind the wheel, and having the opportunity to race here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway is a dream come true.
It's a lot of fun. It's hard, and you really have to concentrate and just keep your mind on the track.
So the next step for Banks is to compete in the Legend Car Young Lions division. And with the help of his young crew chief, there is no doubt Banks Johnson will get there.
Wash the tires, sometimes change them. It's very hard.
South Point's athletic director Mike Drummond has been a figurehead of Stallion sports since the school's inception in 2006. There's another Drummond on the horizon, his son Steven, carving his niche in the family business.
Yeah, he mentioned early on that he wanted to get in the sports information side of it when he was in high school, so it worked out for him.
Indeed it has. Steven, a Northwestern alum and University of South Carolina graduate, is the Assistant Director of Communications for the Carolina Panthers and says his dad was a huge influence on his career choice.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. He was working at Winthrop when we got the team. He introduced me to all these Panther people, and so he actually paved the way for me to be where I am today in media relations.
As the elder statesman with over 30 years experience, maybe Mike offered a suggestion or two to Steven.
I don't know if he got any tips from me, but I know he was around the game long enough, so he knows what goes on behind the scenes.
2 generations of Drummonds in sports administration. But hold on, There could be a third from either of Mike's grandkids, Haven or Brennan.
He wants to be next in line. He loves picking up the microphone and talking into it. And he's a clown. He likes entertaining, but we'll see. He's got about 15 more years to hone on into skills.